easy, cause we keep it Milanese. This in Paris, call me Internationale. Happy on some zombie shit, juggernaut, quick revive, speedy cola, stamina, double tap if I have to.
Buongiorno a tutti ragazzi, un saluto di Inter Worldwide. Thank you very much for tuning in to another edition of the Inter Worldwide podcast. We're coming at you with two crowd favorites in Christian Rivas and Mario. Mario, how are you, brother?
Good, what's going on? Unfortunate result today, but whatever.
Yeah, very unfortunate. We'll get on that in a sec. Christian Rivas, what's goody?
That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's one of those deflating results, one of those results that really grounds you, makes you humble, but better now than towards the back end of the season. So we got time to basically group together and try and go on a winning run from here. So let's talk about the disappointing result against Lecce. I managed to wake myself up from a couple of hours of sleep to tune in to watch it. And, you know, it was kind of dire. It was one of those games where luck really did need to be on your side. And Lecce came to defend. And on the back of not winning a game in six matches and conceding 16 goals, this was a game where they didn't try to win at all. They were ready to get the point. And, you know, they really started attacking when they went 1-0 down. And they scored straight away and then just set back up with 5 at the back again. So a 5-man defense from Lecce, we struggled to break it down. For me personally, I think that our midfield wasn't the spark that we expected it to be. I know it's the first time that Barella, Sensi, and Brozovic have come back to play together at the same time, but I guess it was just a little bit disappointing. But hey, at the end of the day, we'll give them that pass. They're sensational players. They've done sensationally well for us this season. They're coming off the back of not only 2 men with Sensi and Barella on chronic injuries. We have overplayed and overrun Marcelo Brozovic, I would say, for maybe even the past 2.5 to 3 seasons, to the degree that he did get injured today and it didn't look too good. We'll talk about that soon as well. But also we had a little bit of an off game up front. Lautaro, I just think was a little bit clumsy. I don't think he was bad. I just think in a game where you know that the defense is sitting deep, you know where the box is going to be crowded more often than not, I think that Lautaro maybe could have used his initiative a little bit more and maybe come back to collect the ball rather than try and be a little bit too flary around a deep-sitting defense, because it did tend to frustrate him. And when a Lautaro frustrated, he's not at his best. So for me, very disappointing. And we'll talk a little bit about what the result means in terms of aspects of Juventus, who went up as well. But I'll switch over to Christian Rivas first. Christian, what did you think of the match, man? Give us your recap.
Man, honestly, it was typical park the bus. They put about 10 players back there and had one stay up for the counter. I mean, you can't blame them. This is the same team that did that to Juve. Same exact result, 1-1. Lukaku and Toto were bad. Sensi and Barella couldn't get anything going. Brozovic got hurt. I even questioned the subs for Conte. Not really towards the end, but just the timing of it. You know, it wasn't really the players, because when you look at it, that's all he had available. It was just the timing should have been a little earlier. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course, man. I was even surprised when he subbed in Bastoni, but you know, then he shut us up straight away. It's just unfortunate that Bastoni actually ended up losing his man a few minutes later to concede the goal. And you just think to yourself, you're like, these are those little fine margins of mentality and, you know, being psychologically strong. And that's where we fell short today, brother. We fell short mentally. We switched off at a moment where we could have seen out the game, just like Fiorentina and just like Atalanta. I guess more often than not this season, we've seen out the game, but there still are those matches that we're still lacking, man.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, not to knock Bastoni. Bastoni still did well, but he should have did better in tracking back. And it was one of those things where it was a fluke shot that turned into a pass, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Mario, what was your reaction to the game, man, and dropping points away at Lecce? How detrimental do you think it's going to be over the next maybe 3 or 4 weeks?
I think it's really important that we just stop dropping points. You know, this is what we do every year. We find these stupid teams in January. We start dropping our points. It's like we just decide to shoot ourselves in the foot. I don't know if it's the cold weather. I don't know if someone's hexing us. I don't know if someone's doing Haitian voodoo. But whatever we've been doing the past like 3-4 years, it hasn't worked in January. I'll tell you that much. Um, so, like, we need points because if we're dropping points to everybody, like, every game that we should win, we're not gonna fucking do anything. Lazio's gonna pass us in probably next week with the game in hand. Um, so it's really really fucking annoying that we just keep shooting ourselves in the foot like this. Like Lecce should be a win. I don't care if they have 10, 15, 20 guys in the box, 15 goalies using their hands. You got to find a way to put the ball in the net. I don't care. We have Lukaku, who's the biggest guy in the field. You have Godin. You have all these tall players that should be winning headers if you put in crosses, and players that should be of quality to, at least find a way to put the ball in the back of the freaking goal. We lost Brozovic. That's a big fucking loss for the next coming weeks. So we got to figure out, who's gonna fill in for him. Because even with all the injuries, he's been there. So now we have to rely on the Vecino, the Borja, the Gagliardini to step in and play that regista role or figure something out because it's really not looking good if we have 2 ties already in the month of January, and going forward it's only going to get longer and harder.
Yeah, man, I guess it's all about perspective and what, because a lot of fans will sit there and say, just because we've lost Brozovic and just because we've drawn today at Lecce, it doesn't change the fact that we're still exceeding expectations so far for this season. But to that I say, every ceiling once reached becomes a new floor. And once you get a little bit of a taste of what you can do during the season, it's easy to feel depressed and upset when you come back down to earth like that. So what I mean is, obviously, in context to the rest of Serie A, Lazio are absolutely flying, and I feel like we've said this 2 or 3 times on the podcast this season. They're just such a well coached team under Inzaghi. Everybody is just chipping in. They've now won, I think it's 11 in a row or 10 in a row. I think it's actually 11 in a row. And yeah, they actually can overtake us with their game in hand, as Mario just mentioned. Juventus also got a win 2-1 against Parma. They've played ugly most of the season, and they were ugly again today. But on Juventus's worst and ugliest day, they will probably, most likely, 99% sure, pick up 3 points. And that's the difference at the moment. And I think these fine margins are going to come back to bite us in the ass. But Christian Rivas, as of this match day and it finishes, do you think that maybe Juventus are going to start to have a little bit more in the tank than Inter as the weeks go on?
No, I still think right now they're picking up steam because they're not playing Champions League. Once Champions League starts back up, they're going to shift their focus and they're going to concentrate on the Champions League. I mean, do you blame them? No, that's what they've been after for the last few years. That's the main reason I see them slipping.
Mario, what about you, man? Do you see Juventus carrying it on a little bit further than Inter? Where do you think Inter's going to be in like the next month or so, or next 6 weeks? Do you think we can literally keep the pace? Because the way I see it, we can't drop any more points, man. Any more gaps with this, it's just going to make the mentality of the team drop even more. We have to stick as close as possible, Mario.
I think the next 6 weeks, we actually play Juve in 6 weeks. They'll be very important. We have to win Cagliari. It's a home match, so I'm not as worried, and they're kind of dropping off lately. So beginning with that, I hope we can find our stride. Because, like I said before, quickly mentioned, January is not our month. In the last 3 years, in the last 3 years since 2017, we've drawn 6 matches, lost 2, and we haven't won a game in the last 3. So with that in perspective, hopefully this will kind of break that funk of that January curse. We had the winter curse, but it turned into the January curse now. So hopefully Cagliari will change that. And then we have Udinese, Milan, Lazio. So those 4 or 5 games that are in between Juve, we have to win them all. We have to stop Lazio at all costs. We can't let them continue to to get 3 points week in and week out. They're flying. We're not really doing bad. I don't want to give the notion that we're like shitting the bed over here because we still haven't lost a game since Juve week 7. It's all been wins and draws, but the draws, if you're going for a title, that's what kills you. Juve is going to keep winning. They're gonna win every game. They're gonna draw one, maybe two. Maybe they lose another one depending on who comes around. But we have to win all these games, and it sucks that even if we put 100 points, we still can come in second place.
Yeah, fair enough. A couple of other results besides Lazio. So we know Lazio are flying high. Napoli are absolutely in the pits. Gattuso is 4 losses in his first 5 games. In my opinion, I reckon that he brings a special aspect of grinta and motivation to Milan due to his heart and association there. I don't see any sentimental reason for Napoli to value him. I don't think this group of players is going to turn their mentality for the club for Gattuso, because maybe I don't even think he's giving the kind of input to Napoli that he would to Milan. But that's just my opinion. Christian Rivas, what do you make of Gattuso's horrible start at Napoli? Bearing in mind he has had tricky fixtures, but it's not like there are any easy games anymore. And guess what? He's got Juventus next week, man.
Honestly, I think he might pull off the win next week because it's still Napoli and they're going to fight for it. If I'm not mistaken, it's in Naples. Listen, he walked into a shitty situation from the beginning. Club was in complete disarray. Ancelotti couldn't save it. Just all around bad situation at Napoli right now. They need to just go in there and clean house. He's still trying to implement his system. That team isn't really fundamentally built for his type of tactics, but they're still professionals, I just think that he needs to get it together. He got time still. If they miss out on Europa and the Champions, you might see him get sacked. I mean, I still think the guy should get a fair trial. He should have at least the next season and the summer to get his stuff implemented. It's rough coming in halfway through a season, especially when you're in all competitions, because if Gattuso loses out in Champions and gets eliminated by Barca, he's on the hot seat. Get eliminated in Coppa Italia, he's definitely on the way out. Not in the Champions League, he's done by, let's say, May, April.
What do you reckon, Mario, man? The state of Napoli and the state of Gattuso, does he have a future there? Is he going to save it, or is he just a sinking ship waiting to happen?
It's a sinking ship. They suck. The players are unmotivated. They're unlucky, which I will give them that. I think they hit the post like 15 times in the last five games. So, sure, you could say it's unlucky. It's also not good because the ball's not going in the net at the end of the day. They have players like freaking Fabian Ruiz, who I watch him and he doesn't fit. He does not fit whatsoever into that system. He's so slow. All he does is just dribble. That's all he's good at. But dribbling doesn't get you goals, does it? No. So that's how that's working out. I don't think this team is fit for Gattuso. Gattuso isn't fit for the team. They're missing Koulibaly, yes, but he sucked when he played. He gave 3 points to Juve. He's been hurt. He's gonna come back. He wants to leave apparently. Like it's been reported, but we'll see how that works out. But that team it's in shambles right now. The only thing is that because it's Juve and because everybody wants to beat Juve, they might show up for the game. Who knows? That's where Gattuso gets his merit from. Stupid games like this where he'll pump them up just for Juve, and then they'll play Sampdoria next week. They'll lose 5-0. So hopefully Napoli can steal us some points against Juve, but it's not likely.
No, I'm not going to bank on it too much, man. Milan came from the depth to win 3-2. It looks like Zlatan's igniting some sort of inspiration there, but to be honest, they were still garbage against Udinese. Christian Rivas, do you see Milan making a bit of a resurgence? What's a realistic finish, do you think, for our cross-city rivals, man?
8th.
Anything higher than 8th? Nothing, no European football?
No, I see them in 8th. And even if they do manage to get European football, FIFA financial fair play is gonna get them knocked out again.
Yeah, because they're not going to make the Champions League or anything like that. There's no chance.
Nope.
Well, they did manage to win 3-2. What do you think of Zlatan coming back? Do you think it's a good move for them at the end of the day?
I mean, I think they brought him back just to try and if they bring him back and they get rid of Piatek, it's one of those moves that they brought him because they had to try to recoup some money. Zlatan essentially was brought in on a free. Piatek's gonna dictate at least 25 million. It's a real stupid, boneheaded move, but it's Milan. What do you expect? Right now, they're not in the right position. They'll be able to have patience for a player. On top of that, like I've been saying for a while, sacking Gattuso was their biggest mistake.
Mario, your thoughts on Milan? Do you reckon what's a realistic finish for them, man? And do you think Zlatan can get them higher? Are you a fan of the move? What do you reckon?
I think they could finish as high as sixth. Because if you look at it right now, top five is basically locked in. Juve, Inter, Lazio, Roma, Atalanta. That's not going to change. They might, third, fourth place will kind of fluctuate, but the sixth spot is for the taking right now. They're in seventh place. The only thing that's kind of alarming, which for Milan, if anything, is that between sixth place and 15th place, there's only an 8-point gap. So if they start fucking up, that 8 points could, it can close real fast. And they can be going from 7th place to 10th place to as low as 15th place if everything was to work out in everyone else's favor. But I think with Ibrahimovic, it definitely adds a fear factor to them because he's old, we get it, but if he gets the ball 40 yards out and if he sees the goalie off his line, he's not afraid to shoot. And you know what? He can put it on net every single time if he wanted to. So it's one of those things where you have to be cautious of Ibrahimovic, regardless of his age. But at the same time, he might be able to do nothing if you play your cards right. If you have the Lecces, where they just play 15 players in the back, you're going to steal a point from them. You might even win the game. But I don't know. I think they're trending upward, but you don't really know with them because they still kind of suck.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, let's talk Mercato and let's talk about the failed move between Politano and Spinazzola. First of all, from a technical point of view, good swap for Inter. We need a wing back that's better than Biraghi, and to be honest, Ashley Young is still better than Biraghi in my opinion. We'll talk about him in a sec. But Spinazzola coming in at left wing back, I was initially excited for it. A bit of a medical history of him being bounced from, Juventus to Roma, and then Roma sending him to us. And then very fishy, him going back in the opposite direction, even after Politano was photographed with the Roma scarf and the Roma colours on his shoulders, his youth team, a team he wanted to go back for. So a couple of things from me. First of all, I'm kind of disappointed the trade didn't go through. I'm also upset that Politano is unhappy. Not that I really think that he shouldn't be sold or swapped around because Conte has no use for him. But, he was happy when he was signed for us. He always looked like he wanted to be an Inter player, but, it hasn't worked out. And now I don't even know what's going to happen. We've basically got a week and a half or a week left to find a solution for Matteo Politano. So a few things to break that down. Christian Rivas, what were your thoughts in general about the Spinazzola-Politano deal? Did you want it to happen? How did you feel when it was called off? And what do you think we should do for Matteo now?
Personally, I wanted it to happen because I don't want to see Biraghi play. Listen, he's just below average. He's not that good. If we want to contend for Scudetto, we need an actual good wingback in this position. It's good that Ashley Young came, like you said. He's an improvement. He's a step up. He's probably on the same level, if not a little bit higher than Asamoah. I don't know what's up with Asamoah. There's never really been no update. One thing that's kind of frustrating is the fact that they went Poetano went all the way to Roma. Spinazzola came all the way to Milan. But management had to know something. Listen, they're not going to say they want to run more tests just because it sounds good. Like, no. They probably found something in one of his knees, and they wanted to make sure that they weren't getting a broken car.
Yeah, fair enough. Mario, what did you make of the deal altogether, man?
Um, it was kind of unfortunate. I mean, I've been hating on Spinazzola because of his knee. I don't like the knee injuries from anybody. I think, sure, if you're promising and then you get a knee injury, like let's say, what's his name, Zaniolo, you're not going to be the same player. He's going to turn into mediocrity, and we won that sale at the end of the day. If you want to look at it like that. But yeah, Spinazzola came back. Uh, it was, anything is better than Biraghi at this point. I'm happy. I was watching the Roma game today. Spinazzola put in a stupid cross that ended up in a goal. It's just like that could have been for us. He could have put that cross in this morning. Could have hit off a Lecce defender, went in, but it didn't. So where am I going with this? It's kind of unfortunate that it didn't go through, but at the same time, we got Ashley Young, who I didn't really like at the beginning. I was fucking 100% against it. I thought this was stupid. Then I thought of it like more level headed. It's 6 months. It's $1.5 million. That's literally nothing. And he actually can attack, which Biraghi can't. He can play on both sides. Biraghi can't. So if he can play on the left side for Biraghi, you know what? Why the fuck not? Hopefully Asamoah comes back. Hopefully D'Ambrosio comes back. They go into that starting spot on the left side, and we're good.
And right side.
I mean, D'Ambrosio on the right side. Then I don't care if Candreva plays. That's fine with me. I mean,
Yeah, no harm lost there. Valentino Lazzaro loaned out. Christian, your thoughts on Lazzaro moving on for maybe temporarily just about 6 months?
You guys, I heard there's an option to buy that they're inserting for the deal with Newcastle. That was reported by Di Marizzo. You guys remember when I said he's nothing? He's just another Cancelo, can only dribble, one-trick pony.
Yeah.
I mean, did I lie?
No.
I think he's a little bit better than you give him credit for, man. I think if he was given a streamlined series of games, maybe in the same way that you give the likes of Lukaku and Lautaro, I know that's asking for a lot of consistency in a new league, but a lot of the time he came in, I noticed that he was rusty, but he was still able to save his performance by the end of his cameo. He would grow into matches quite easily.
Listen, the best players play, yes or no?
Sorry, say that again. I missed it.
The better players start, yes or no?
Yeah,
of course. Once
he
start, he needs to earn his minutes. He can't be like Biraghi, who is just starting because there's nobody else.
That's the thing, but like, go on.
They even try to put Lazzaro on the left, and he failed horribly. So, I mean, what else do you want? I'll say he brought a little spark here and there in a couple games, but it was mainly because he did a couple leg overs. Yeah, he had one good assist, but in the same sense, I would rather have D'Ambrosio or Candreva starting on the right. He's a third choice right back. All right, let's get that straight. He's a third choice right back. He is not the first or the second choice. He's the third choice.
He's expensive for a third choice right back. That's for damn sure.
Hell yeah.
And that's my point. If we can recover some money, plug it.
Yeah. All right. Fair call. All right. We need to be surely we're at the back end of this Eriksen deal. So Christian Eriksen still looking to get it locked in. The figures at the moment are around about 15. I say we just pay the 20 million and just get it over and done with. I'm sure the boys are the same. So Christian Rivas, talk to us for a minute about Christian Eriksen. Are you excited for him to come in? Do you think it's going to get done within the next few days? And how do you think he's going to fit into contest formation, most importantly?
From what I heard Tuesday, we're supposed to hear something. It'll probably be done by Friday, but expect to hear some noise by Tuesday. This is what Fabrizio Romano and Di Marizzo has been reporting. They're saying Tuesday looks like the day where Inter's going to meet with Tottenham, and they're really going to try and close it right then and there. At the latest, it'll drag out is Friday. Personally, if we don't pay 20 mil for a player of Eriksen's quality, we deserve to not finish top 4. You want to act like a big club, behave like a big club, put the money where your mouth is. Because right now, we're not contending with PSG. We're not contending with Madrid. They all want him in the summer. He wants out now. You take care of that situation. It's an opportunity type thing. and especially with Brozovic just going out, who we gonna play there? Valero? Hell no. Fucking bring in Erickson, get it done, starts the weekend. The quicker we get it done, the better off we are.
All right, so Mario, Christian Eriksen should have been done by now. We're leaving it haggling. Does it frustrate you? Yes or no, man? Do you think we should get it done ASAP or what?
I'm very frustrated with this one. It's been 20 days now of watching Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, your app.
My text messages.
The text messages from Christian. Is it coming? Is it going? Are we gonna pay 20 million? Are we gonna try to lower the price to 3 million? Are we gonna, try to give Vecino? Are they gonna try to give my leg? Are you gonna try to give his mother? Are you gonna try to give him free tickets to a Lecce Benevento game? Where they're both wearing the same jersey. Just pay the 20 million already. It obviously Tottenham is not messing around with 20 million. If you don't want to pay 20 million for a world-class player, I hope you get relegated.
Yeah,
that's really what it is. If you don't want to spend, it's not even big money. You spend 89 million on Lukaku to pay over 5 years, whatever it was. Why can't you pay 20 million? Put it 10 and 10. You're gonna sell the Primavera to make up for it. Who cares?
Yeah, honestly, man, it's just a deal that we have to cash in on. So hopefully that everything's done behind the scenes and they're just waiting for a particular date or a day. But I don't know why it couldn't have been done, say, before Lecce, because we could have really used someone like that to break down a team that sits deep with 5 defenders. So I hope they just get it done ASAP because we've got a lot of games coming in. Victor Moses. This is a guy that his name is only surfaced the last couple of days. But in terms of being another defender, right wing back, I don't think he's played much on the left. Christian can correct me. He might know more about him. But Nigerian international, owned by Chelsea since 2012. Currently on loan to Turkish side Fenerbahce. But interestingly enough, Fenerbahce are actually in the process of selling some players to free up some salary space to sign a few guys that they've been linked for. Victor Moses is an easy exit for them, seeing as though that they don't actually own the player. They're just paying a salary. So they're looking to get him off the books. It's just a matter of whether or not we can strike a deal with Chelsea. This is difficult when you involve 3 parties to organize a deal instead of just 2. So I don't expect this deal to be done sooner rather than later. This one is probably going to drag out right to the end. 29 years old, has had loan spells at Liverpool, Stoke City and West Ham United. Christian, what are your thoughts about Victor Moses when he comes in? Will he do enough to cement a place in the first team? Could we possibly redeem him? Or is he on the Danilo D'Ambrosio ticking clock as well?
Well, Danilo just got rid of, what's his name, Lazaro. Looks like Moses is going to be another one on the list. Honestly, the only coach to even get anything out of Moses was Conte, for the record. If anybody could do it, it'd be Conte. That could make him somewhat decent. Do I want to get stuck with the player? No. I personally feel that we shouldn't waste our money on him. But hey, who am I? I'm just a guy in the freaking DC area on Twitter and on WhatsApp and on Facebook and on my computer, If Conte wants him, do what Conte wants. He's a coach for a reason.
Mario, Victor Moses, currently owned by Chelsea on loan to Fenerbahce. What do you like about him? What don't you like about him? Are you happy for him to come in even just on loan for a little bit?
If you could spend the money on freaking Victor Moses, spend the money on Christian Eriksen. Simple.
Christian Rivas
too. I mean, I don't.
Do you know much about Victor Moses?
I don't hate Victor Moses. I think as a right wing back, he might be very good for us because he loves to go forward. And like Christian said, he was good under Conte. Thing is, defensively, I can't remember too much if he was actually like serviceable, but I remember he was not too bad as a right wing back. I could be wrong. He's not afraid to score because he's like Ashley Young. Before he played as a right wing back for Conte and Chelsea, he was like a right winger, just like Ashley Young. So it kind of makes sense if that's what he's going for. I would hope for like a 6-month loan maybe even like 18-month loan. But depending on the figures, I don't know how much they want to buy for. I didn't really see too much about this. I kind of heard about it, but I didn't see much. So I do like that attacking element that he presents, but at the same time, it's like Lazaro, it's like Cancelo, it's like all these players that yes, they're very good going forward, but can they defend? Probably not. Can they take D'Ambrosio out of the picture? Probably not. Can they take Candreva off the field? Probably not. So there you go. You have another third choice fullback that you're paying money for. What's the point of that if you're just going to buy backups? You have backups.
There's just a whole big pool of slightly above average fullbacks in the market.
Doesn't
very,
make
very
sense.
really good fullbacks in the market.
D'Ambrosio is very, very average, but he's very, very good at it. So you're going to get consistent, good performances.
I'd say he's a little above average, but he's not above average. Does that make sense? Like he's right in the middle of average and above average. Like he's not average, but he's not great. He's just
you're not going to have
enough.
You're not going to have a spectacular performance from him, and you're not going to have a bad game from him. Yeah, he had a couple bad games when he first joined us from Torino. Fine, but since
who didn't back then?
That's what I'm saying. Since then, he's been consistently out of 10, he gives 7.5 on a good day. If he gets an assist, if he gets a goal, he's still like above average, but not great. So if we're just gonna keep buying backups, Lazaro, Delbert, every you name it, they're just going behind Candreva and D'Ambrosio. So what's the point? It doesn't matter how good they were. It doesn't matter how good they could be. It doesn't matter if you bought them in FIFA for free, Football Manager. They're not gonna play.
The list goes on. It's been our worst hand position.
We don't need a right back position. We have D'Ambrosio. We need Christian Eriksen.
Yep. I agree with you. At this point, dude, it'll be ridiculous if we go and get a Victor Moses, but we don't land a Christian Eriksen,
Yeah.
Brozovic is injured now.
You said what?
Brozovic is injured now.
That's right. So Brozovic walked off. Brozovic walked out in crutches today. Have you guys heard of the update, Christian Rivas?
Dude, if he's walking out in crutches, he's at least a month out. At least.
Yeah, it has to be.
At the minimum, he has a sprained ankle, and that could take a month to heal. At the minimum.
Yeah. And you're going to rely on Vecino, Gagliardini, Borja Valero, and you want to play for first place.
That's how we're going to split. That's how we're going to slip right back into a top 4 thing where we're looking behind our shoulder and there's a team 6 points behind us.
I don't even have words if you're not going to spend the money at this point. You don't want to win. That's what it is. You don't care.
Well, let's just hope that we're wrong and our pessimistic attitude is off point and they do go and end up, signing a few players this week. So we do need that player to unlock midfield to attack. The last player I remember that we did have was Rafinha, and we chose not to redeem him for FFP reasons. So that's the last player that I can correlate with Eriksen's ability. And before that, I would probably go with Eva Banega. Christian Rivas, besides maybe those two, have I missed one? What are some of the players that resemble Eriksen's attributes? Because that's something we've been crying out for a while.
Gary Medel, Felipe Melo.
No way. Go home.
Come on.
Kovacic.
God.
Do you see where we're going with this? We haven't been tied to a player with this type of quality in a long time, and it would be ridiculous on management to pass up this type of opportunity. If they pass this up, like Mario said, we deserve to get relegated. Like, I know it sounds real drastic and it sounds like we're crazy, but you gotta understand, dude. You're a team like Inter Milan, dude. We're not freaking Lecce. We're not Benevento. We're not Pordenone. We're not Parma. We're Inter. Even Parma will probably splurge that money for a top quality player like that. Come on, bro.
Yeah, so we got to get it done, man. It's as simple as that. So I really hope that the next time that we are speaking, that it all does come together. There aren't many other players that are in the headlines. I'll throw it out to the boys for a free question. Are there any other players that you want to lock up? Do you think we have a chance of getting Tonali?
Dude, if we can't get Ericsson, how are we gonna get Tonali?
That's true. We just got
You know,
it.
like if we go after Tonali, it would be in the summer. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but the one thing about that plays in our favor with Tonali is the fact that Juve signed the kid from Parma that's from Atalanta. Was it Kurovetsky or some shit like that? Some shit like that. My bad. I apologize.
Yeah.
But they locked him up. So if you're Tonali, you're saying that you're looking, well, now, damn, I got to fight with Pjanic, this guy Kurovetsky. I got to fight with this whole midfield. No, it's not like Juve doesn't have their midfield's lackluster. That's their weakest part. But still, you know what I mean? Like, Tonali's not going to go over there. He's not going to start straight away because he's still growing.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, let's just hope that Marotta's got his hands on that deal, man, because that'd be a deal that we'd really want to get into. And, you know, with Juve's issues with financial fair play, that really could restrict their activity over the next couple of transfer windows. So let's hope for that as well. I'm going to keep it really short and sweet on this podcast. The last thing we're going to talk about is our next fixture, which is up against Cagliari. We, of course, whooped them 4-1 in the Coppa Italia round of 16 earlier this week. Yeah, earlier this week. It was a midweek thing, or early this week, I forget. But anyway, we're going to end up flipping the side a little bit in this fixture. I remember that we did field a weaker side in that game. So Cagliari are struggling a lot to adapt tactically at the moment, which is where I think we're going to excel in this match, bringing in the likes of Barella and Sensi that did not play against them last time will be huge. Christian Rivas, I'll go to you first. How do you think we approach Cagliari at the San Siro? And do you think we get 3 points, or is it all going to be real doom and gloom from here?
Listen, I think we beat them. Secondly, I'm probably going to hate my life that day because that means I got to wake up at 6:25 in the morning to catch that 6:30 game. I know you Australians, you do this all the time. Yeah. I'm American, dude. Like, no. I hate the 6 a.m. games, but I always wake up for them. I think we win. If this is my thing. If we don't unlock Ericsson, dude, then we can start talking about doom and gloom. We do not unlock him, it's doom and gloom time. Also, if we're not going to play with Brozovic, then we need to change our formation and go 3-4-3. At this point, you're better off starting Alexis with Toro and Lukaku. I know it's crazy, but dude, no. I don't want to see Romero. I don't want to see Vecino. I don't want to see Gagliardini starting there. At this point, you want to put who your better players are and your impact players are. Put Alexis there. Let him sit behind Toro and Lukaku. Let him pick the passes. I guess you want to call it a 3-4-1-2.
Yeah, I would agree, man. I would agree if Brozovic is out that we do need to switch it up. Otherwise, we're just going to be too predictable without the effective personnel to carry it out. Mario, your thoughts on Cagliari going into that game, man? They've slipped up a fair bit. I can't remember the last time they got 3 points. They did get a draw this week in Serie A, but, you know, they've really fallen off the pace, man. What do you think is going to happen?
They haven't won in 6 games. That's 2 draws, 4 losses. So that scares me because now I feel like they're going to snap that streak against us because what happens every freaking time is that we play a stupid team that has 10 losses in a row, but who's going to have my question is, are they going to beat us? Probably because we just love to create history and stop streaks. And then the next question is, who's going to have their game of their life against us? Is it going to be Perin with 2 glass knees? Is it going to be Nainggolan? Golan? Is he going to score a hat trick? Is it going to be João Pedro? Is he going to
Wait, Mario, did you say Perin? I thought he went to Genoa.
I'm sorry. He went to Genoa.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
I was about to say, dude, that's crazy.
I know, right? Their colors throw me off sometimes.
Same thing. My bad, dude. I was going to say, dude, because remember the whole issue with Radu and all that? I wasn't sure. That's why. Better to ask than look stupid, you know? My bad.
No, you're right. You saved me. Yeah, so it's basically who's going to have the game of their life to save Cagliari and possibly save their season and keep a Champions League spot. So I'm going in pessimistic because we're not going to have Brozovic, who's arguably, not even arguably, he has been our best player. because he's kept us going. If he's good, we're good. If he sucks, we suck. And we saw that today against
Listen, people don't want to admit it, but Brozovic is probably our best and most impactful player. They don't want to admit it. You just got to look at it. When he plays bad, we all play bad.
I don't know how serious the injury is going to be, bro. It really is going to come down to when we hear about it. And, Cagliari next to obviously miss that, and then he'll miss the game after that. I think it's Udinese, and then Milan and Napoli straight after. Milan and Lazio straight after. So, I don't know. At this point, it's looking a little bit gloomy for our midfield. That's why the Mercato team has got, 9 days now? About 9 days, 10 days to rectify the situation and get 1 or 2 signings for the midfield. So, yeah, that's about it. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it for this particular edition of the Interworldwide podcast. And as always, thank you to my amazing guests. I can't do it without them. Christian Rivas, thank you very much.
No problem.
All right. And Mario, thank you very much again, man. We'll speak to you very shortly.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, wait. Before we go, hey, Mario, do you want to be my Valentine's this year?
No.
I tried.
All right. From all of us here at Interworldwide, ciao. Ciao, ragazzi. Forza Inter.